Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today I've got a round of World of Warships that you're not going to want to miss. I'm playing in the Asashio, the Tier 8 premium Japanese destroyer that has a very unique role. Now, I've owned this ship for a while. It may have in fact been one of the original premium ships that I purchased as I was doing a lot of Japanese destroyer grinding and I needed a premium destroyer to sort of swap my commander into. However, at the time I didn't realize that the Asashio greatly benefits from a few skills that aren't typically found on other destroyers. For example, faster torpedo speed. The Asashio is a battleship hunter. It is meant for taking out battleships and, well, aircraft carriers in a pinch, although it doesn't really have much in the way of anti-air, so hunting carriers can be much more risky. The special weapon that this ship uses against these targets are 20-kilometer Deepwater Torpedoes. Now, these torpedoes do huge damage to battleships. They're very effective against them, but they're also a little bit slow moving. And so if you go for the torpedo speed boost, you're going to reduce that range to 16 kilometers, which is still extremely far away, but they're going to go significantly faster, allowing you a much higher chance of hitting your target. So early game, I've pushed up to try and get some torpedoes off on battleships, but they're also playing aggressive, and I can't really engage other DDs in a straight up firefight. In fact, the Le Fantasque out there can easily outdamage me. So without much of an option, I pop a smoke to try and conceal myself and start putting fire down on the enemy DD. However, the enemy Baltimore activates his radar, basically nullifying my smoke, and I've got to hit the gas and get out of there. Otherwise, I'm going to be a sitting duck and go boom boom. So luckily, my team is focusing on the Le Fantasque here. I'm hitting some pretty good volleys against him, and we get a nice early game kill against it. I get first blood, which is very rare to get in the Asashio. Certainly not a kill that I earned all by myself. Team was working on it there. I only did 5,000 damage, but I managed to get out of harm's way without actually taking any damage at the start of the game there, which is very rare considering I got radared. So my objective in the early game was to get some of those torpedoes off, and I had to react quickly. I didn't have time to launch any Deepwater torpedoes, or rather I didn't have any good shots to take. Now I got to sort of inch my way back out, being a little more cautious of cruisers with radar, and find some good targets. You really got to set yourself up early with the Asashio to get your damage in. Certainly you can get your damage late game if you survive to late game, but if you can make some good big plays early game with the Asashio against battleships, it can really reduce the enemy team's firepower, hopefully snowballing in your team's favor. I also really have to watch out for the enemy team's carrier and be constantly aware of how far away I am from decent fleet support with good anti-air, because I really don't have much in the way of anti-air, and the carrier's primary objective right now should be hunting down enemy destroyers. In fact, that is what he's doing to our Le Fantasque on the right side of the map, who has ventured a little too far away from the fleet. He's going to pay for it. Now, I finally managed to get my first volley of torpedoes off at that Bismarck in the distance. You've got 2 quadruple launchers, so I've got 8 torps in the water, and I've used my torpedo reload booster upgrade to recharge my torpedoes and try and look for another target. So you can have up to 16 torpedoes in the water at a time. And so I'm looking for another battleship with my 16-kilometer range to spot, but I've been spotted by another enemy Asashio, and he is on the side that I was not anticipated. My guns are not even turned towards him. I cannot return fire until they turn all the way around. The Asashio has really, really slow traversing guns. So not only is it going to be a while before I can shoot back, but I have to now decide if I even want to shoot back. I'm starting to take fire from the entire rest of the team here. They want to delete me, but he's fired on me, so now he's spotted for a bit. My team's shooting at him. One of my torpedoes does manage to land on the Bismarck in the distance there, but the Bismarck's secondaries are already tearing me up, and I managed to get unspotted with a little over 6,000 health left. And luckily my team focused on the enemy Asashio quite a bit as well, and he took a similar pounding. So by not firing my guns there, I managed to get unspotted sooner, and it might have in fact saved my life. But I'm not out of hot water yet. The carrier knows pretty much where I am, and he's sending bombers towards me. Even if he doesn't hit me, they're probably going to spot me, and I again will be another target to concentrate on. So I'm going to get these Deepwater torpedoes off and try and come around this island to get some protection from the nearby cruiser. And I'm spotted. Right now I'm wrestling with the idea of, do I pop smoke and get unspotted because I have such low health. There's 3 enemy ships targeting me right now, so there's going to be a lot of incoming fire. I'm like, maybe I can get behind the island. I take a shot there, and I decide it's just not worth the risk. I'm going to go ahead and pop the smoke right now. Might have not been the right play, but you know what? With an Asashio with this little health, it's sometimes better just to be safe than sorry. Meanwhile, those Deepwater Torpedoes are well on their way to the Roma. I'm going to zoom in and see how they're doing there. The first volley gets 1 torpedo hit on him and causes flooding, but he repairs the flooding. But the second volley hits again. Sadly, no flooding. Decent damage against the Roma there. It would have been nice if the second torpedo caused flooding as well, and then we could be doing a lot more damage. But that's okay. We did some good damage. I'm going to back out of the smoke to respot the Roma and potentially give my team some shots to fire at, or I might just myself shoot at him. But once again, I get spotted by planes, so I'm going to get back into that smoke and try and remain covered. Luckily, the Roma is returning fire, which is going to keep him spotted, and I decide to start shooting my cannons at him. If I can get a fire started on the Roma, I know he's already repaired recently, so it won't have recharged, and we can maybe get some decent fire damage over time. Plus, it gives me the opportunity to let my torpedoes recharge, and there we go. We got a fire, so that fire is going to burn for quite a while, ticking his health down. And you know what? I don't have any other targets right now, so why not get the torpedoes off at the Roma? And I'm going to put these torpedoes in a little bit because I'm anticipating him turning in towards my fleet. Right now he's giving a huge broadside, and if I were him, I would either be turning in or away, and I just had a feeling that he was going to be turning in here. Now my smoke is about to be over. I'm going to back out of here a little bit, try and get some cover, because you don't want to be exposed to a Roma in close quarters with this little health. I would hate to die at this point in the game, but one of my torpedoes is perfectly on target, so no real need to have retreated right there. We take out the Roma, get our second kill of the game. Now, we did really significant damage to that Roma. I'm feeling happy about our second kill. I look up at the scoreboard there, and I notice that we're still not winning the game. We've lost 2 battleships to their 1 destroyer and 1 battleship, and I killed both of them technically, so I'm like thinking, uh-oh, is this team going to need a lot of help to get the win? Usually if you get 2 kills early game like that with a lot of damage, you should look up the scoreboard and you should be well in the lead, but we are not. And so it's making me second guess whether this team's going to be able to pull off a victory. They're really not playing very aggressively. They're kind of hiding back behind all the islands here. All the enemy team seems to be going for all the more aggressive plays, which can be to their demise. And there we go. We lose another battleship and another cruiser, and then another cruiser on top of that. Holy smokes, we're down 5 ships to their 3 ships. It's not looking great. And why not top things off with a radar spot from the Chapayev? Luckily, I'm behind this island for any of the close range threats, but again, the carrier is coming my way. He's got rocket planes, which are the worst thing to have to deal with as a destroyer, and I think he's going to take a shot on me. So I got to play defensively. I'm trying to save my smoke for a better time, and luckily he misses his shots with the rocket planes, and he's flying right over our fleet, so he shouldn't get a second pass on me. But nonetheless, the carrier is doing a very good job of keeping me from pushing out into their fleet and doing a lot more damage against their battleships. So far, there's a lot of islands and a lot of things blocking me from getting clean shots against their fleet, and their cruisers and destroyers and stuff have pushed up, making it difficult too. It's sort of like a maze of me having to try and navigate how I'm going to get out here. So I decide I'm going to try and cut to the right and maybe avoid some of those carrier flyovers, but then I see that the carrier is actually launching his ships from the right side of the map, so this is going to be tricky. The enemy battleship, however, is coming this way, and those are going to be my best targets. Hell, maybe even I can get close enough into that carrier to get some lucky torpedo shots on him. Now, I've put a torpedo volley out on the Bismarck there, and I've used my torpedo reload booster to get 2 more. I'm planning on potentially using them both on the Bismarck if I need to, but I want to get a bit closer, so I've got my speed boost active. I noticed the carrier's flying real close with those bombers, but I think we can just get out of his detection radius, which is very important, because if I get detected, that Bismarck's going to take evasive maneuvers immediately, probably activate his sonar and detect the incoming torps. I've launched another volley at the Monarch in the distance there. I find it best with this many torpedoes to try and break up your volleys of torps among different ships. Keep them all guessing as to who's being targeted and not putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. The other really risky element of this play here is that the Bismarck has incredible secondaries, incredible range on them, good accuracy, good damage. If I get spotted, that Bismarck is going to tear me apart. And I've just hit him with a torpedo there. We've caused flooding. However, he has repaired the flooding already, so we're not going to do any damage over time on that. But the carrier's out there, and I'm going to take a torpedo volley shot at that carrier coming around the island. I think the carrier maybe didn't mean to come around the island, or not really sure what his plan was there, but that is definitely a mistake. I get spotted by aircraft. I have to smoke here. The Bismarck will simply do too much damage. I can't risk it with this much health. Luckily, the Bismarck didn't get a volley off on me before I went into the smoke. And this will give me some time to reload torps and sort of decide how I want to approach my next attack. Sometimes these little defensive moments where you can't really do too much are a good time to survey the battlefield and sort of see where your fleet is, see where maybe you're needed most, or where your best, highest chances of a next attack are. Now, the Bismarck is spotted. He's taking a shot at the team, and I'm going to start firing HE at him to try and catch him on fire. I know he did use that repair a little while ago on the torpedoes, so we might be able to get a little bit of fire damage and try and get his health lower and lower. If you leave battleships alone for too long, they're going to heal, they're going to get their health back, and it's just going to be that much harder to kill them in the long run. The Monarch is also pushing up, which will make a great target for my next volley of torpedoes, although he goes unspotted there. And we've got the Tirpitz in the backdrop there, who is taking a huge beating. In fact, he's almost dead, but he's going unspotted there, and we got to finish him off. The Tirpitz can again heal up a lot of health. He's very, very low on health. I'm expecting my team to kill him here, but he is managing to get unspotted. But if I can get a fire on him before he goes unspotted, maybe, just maybe, we can finish him off. And none of those AP rounds get him, but I do catch him on fire. And at 1900 health, that should really be the end of it. I gotta focus on the Monarch coming up. Cool guys don't look at explosions, and we get the kill on the Tirpitz. Not exactly my kill per se. My team really did most of the work there, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do in this game. We are not ahead by that much, and we gotta get kills as quickly as possible. Every shot counts at this point. Now, I've put 2 volleys on the Monarch. He is coming pretty much right at me, which gives him a high chance of being able to dodge torpedoes. But these ones are moving a bit faster. We've got that captain skill. The first volley's looking okay, and we score a nice hit on the Monarch there. In fact, we cause flooding. And is he going to repair it in time? We get 1 damage tick of it there, and no more damage ticks. So he's repaired the flooding. That's something that you absolutely want to do as a battleship captain, as long as you know there's no more torpedoes on their way. The damage over time with flooding is just too much to ignore. So I'm staying just outside the detection radius for my ship, and I have to decide right now, do I want to wait 40 seconds for my first volley of torpedoes to recharge, or do I just want to use the reload booster? I go for the reload booster right now because I just want to deal with this Monarch. He's very close. If I get all these shots off right now, it could be the kill. And again, end game where every kill matters. This might just be the most important volley of torpedoes I shoot. So I fired 1 volley, and I'm saving the other one to see if he makes some course corrections right now. And he's making a few slight course corrections. Luckily, the carrier has now spotted me with his fighters because I don't have any smoke left. That volley of torpedoes is actually looking extremely good right now. So he's turning out of the way. I think he knows what's coming, but too little, too late. And the Monarch takes both of them, and we get our 4th kill of the game. At this point, I'm thinking, oh wait, I'm 4 kills in, and there's a carrier right in front of me who's got his fighter planes going after some ship across the map. I've got a huge chance of being able to close the distance and kill this carrier, but I'm really not going to get a lot of chances at it. I don't have a torpedo reload booster. So do I risk taking a torpedo shot at range and then trying to recharge for 1.5 minutes? Or do I save my torpedoes until I'm really close and can guarantee a hit? I decide to try and go for the extremely close play. It's risky, and the carrier is spotted now, so he knows that there's a destroyer that sees him from somewhere. He doesn't exactly know where, but he should know that I'm to the south of him based on the last spot. He's also angled very well against me, giving him a high chance of dodging should I shoot my torpedoes right now. So I want to get on the side of him, increase my chances of getting multiple hits. He's not going to go down with just one torpedo, or even two torpedoes for that matter. And because of my low health, I don't have a huge chance of being able to survive for a long time against him. I have almost no anti-air to speak of, so he can harass me with rocket planes pretty much endlessly. And here we go. We've closed the distance. I'm spotted and may as well start shooting now. I actually don't know enough about the armor characteristics on this carrier to know if I should be shooting AP or HE, so I just go for HE. For the most part, I realize that these shots are not going to be the thing that determines who wins this battle. It's going to be all about the torpedoes, but I may as well do some damage in case I don't actually get the kill. He's launched his bombers at me. I've entered his secondary range. I decide just to launch my first volley of torpedoes now because I might not even get a chance to launch my secondary torpedoes if he lands a good bomb on me or secondaries like hit me somewhere where it counts. The first volley hits him, but I just got hit by some bombers and they took out my torpedoes and engines and everything. Luckily I have a repair, use it as fast as possible and get the second volley of torpedoes off, and he is doomed, but he still got planes in the air. I get the Kraken and we get rid of one of the last two ships and I get taken out by his bombers at the very end. We sort of finished each other off, but you know what? The play, getting rid of that carrier there, kind of sealed the deal of this game. And I kind of look back at what's going on with the rest of the fleet. Our carrier is charging their battleship, and for a second I'm thinking, wait, is this team actually going to screw this up? Are we not going to get the win there? Did I just get a Kraken and 183,000 damage only to lose the match to some terrible plays by my team? Watching our carrier charge their battleship is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying to watch. He's got some torpedoes in the water and I'm just like, oh God, you better not lose this one. He gets a torpedo hit there, but it's still not the game. Graf Zeppelin's going in with his secondaries to try and get a close quarter kill on the battleship, and he does get it. Thank God. That would have been a very embarrassing loss. We managed to pick it up there, get over 1 million credits with the Asashio. The Asashio is a nice little credit earner, especially if you put some flags on there. We got a high caliber, we got a Kraken, we got a First Blood. Probably the best game I've had with the Asashio, but I've had a lot of really good games with the Asashio. It is a nasty little hunter ship when it comes to dealing with battleship threats. Certainly not bad for a 14-point captain. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this World of Warships gameplay, and if you did, leave me a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.